Listen, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere that you guys are watching live. The universe was playing in my face real quick. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
It tried us big time. So let me get back in here, reshare everything so y'all all can get back into it, because we was in the middle of a real good conversation. Like
really was
good. So if you missed the first 13 minutes and you're just now tuning in, right? We're on episode 7 of Girl Let's Talk About It. This week we are lucky to be hosting the Kingdom Chicks Reconstructed, and we're having some real good conversation about how their podcast came about. Some of the things that they really loved about their podcast. So we're gonna go back onto that part where these ladies were sharing some of their favorite moments from some of their past episodes on their podcast. So I'm gonna let y'all try to get back into that.
Right.
no problem. But to go back to the conversation of our favorite, I think we all agreed that Melissa D was one of our top favorite. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Hold on.
Episodes, and also I wanted to say too with Divine, because it wasn't just traditional. The way that she knows God isn't a traditional way. It isn't like it isn't like she's been in church all her life. So that was like one where she was able to bring just her experience, and I feel like we got to have her back on again because she's still just so full. So
yeah.
But I feel like Melissa really poured out a lot. And plus, I think with Melissa as well, why she was one of our favorites is because like God's spirit just poured out throughout the meeting, even after the meeting, y'all. We got this thing called the Kingdom Chicks After Party. Girl, when I say the after party, this is like after we get off live and we in the background.
Yes.
Baby, it goes down. Okay. Like so it was just, I mean, God just moved the entire time through that. And it was bigger for her too, because some of the things that she had not yet accomplished until she had just accomplished those things right before she got on the show. So I mean, God just really he worked that thing out, honey.
Yeah,
he worked.
I can only imagine that feeling she was having, because I know how that feels, and then everything happens for you, and you're just sitting there.
Yes,
it's like it's an abundance of gratefulness. It's an abundance of like movement, because now you feel so moved, like, man, you heard me, you pushed me through this, you gave me guidance. You told me the steps to take, and I listened, and this is how it paid out, and then like, you have that overwhelming feeling of everything. So I can only imagine the cloud she was riding that night.
Yeah, and for our listeners, like, what exactly episode is that, like, number wise, so they can go and
let me
tune with it, because it sounds like it was live.
Let me find out. Like it was really good. And just like to pivot on what Tasha was saying, like the fact that it was it was like a strategic divine operation, because we were trying to get her on the show and we had her booked for a specific time, but it ended up not working out. And so when we finally did get her on the show, what Tasha is saying is like some of the things that she had in the works, if we would have had her on the show prior, those things wouldn't have been accomplished. So I think that's why, like, overall, that show has so many signs, miracles, and wonders flowing. It was crazy. Like that's why it was so dope.
Man.
But I don't want to like downplay any of our other episodes, because we have an episode that we just did on sistership that was like super dope, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not like, all of them are very special and amazing in their own way. We've had some where we've talked about spiritual warfare that is like bomb, like really heartfelt, deep self-love. Which one did we?
Marriage.
When I say marriage, like, y'all, when I say that we have had some conversations on there that really will like string your heart a little bit, because it really just be like that. Some of these episodes for us are very emotional, and we're being very transparent. Like, we ain't faking. Like I said before, it's not scripted. So all of it is like straight off the top. Like whatever God puts in our mouth, that's what we're speaking about. That's what we're talking about. There's even been days where we've had something planned and it just goes totally different. Like God will move, and we just allow the Spirit to move. And I'm a perfectionist because Dina had to help me get out of being prepared. You know,
Yes,
so
That's me.
I gotta
in
be
the flow.
prepared with questions. I know questions I want to ask. Okay, maybe I can answer it in a certain way, answer the questions before. Like, no, she was like, girl, we just gonna let the Spirit move.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, but maybe I could. She was like, Tasha, no.
Nah.
You know what? Look, I need to take a page out your book because I be so overdoing it. When I tell y'all, even in preparation for this episode, right? Because I'm like, I was just so excited to like sit and chat with you guys. Like, and this is one thing I'm just happy that we're able to do this, right? Because like Coach, I've never met you, but like I've been watching, and I'm like, man, how I never run into this lady,
right?
even Shantae, like I know we've run into some of the same circles, and we've never actually sat and had a conversation. Same with Tasha, like we've had some conversations here and there, like, but we've never gotten to really like get in it, right? And I feel like you guys go through like on the show is just such vulnerability, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the things where I was like, you know what? Let me see if they'll come on, right? Because like we always talk about on our show, it's about creating this giant group chat and inviting everybody into the conversation because the things that we talk about are things that are relatable and just some of the things that we wish people had a conversation with us about when we were younger.
Absolutely.
Or gave us guidance on, or even just friends or like-minded people at the age that we are today that we can have these intelligent conversations and actually walk away from the conversation having grown or figured out that situation, how to figure out that situation in a better way, right? Because I think we've all had our times in our early parts of our lives where we just wasn't making those right choices and we wasn't really being like, okay, I'm gonna take the high road or I'm gonna handle this situation this way. We was just like, yo, it is what it is, you know? So like I really like I really wanted y'all to be on because I like how I feel like y'all are doing what it is that we are trying to do, but y'all are doing it in a whole different light. Y'all are doing it on a much larger scale, and y'all are doing it in a way that y'all bring God into it.
Glory to God.
Praise God.
Glory.
Yes, praise God.
We're grateful. Sometimes let's be clear, like, you know, transparency is real big for all of us. Like, let's be clear. Sometimes you do these podcasts and you're doing the work and you don't really see the fruit. But this right here, thank God, is the fruit. Yeah. You guys reaching out to say, hey, you know, you guys want to come on the show, and for you to just to say like that you're watching, like sometimes you don't ever know who watching.
Yeah.
You don't know who's listening, but when you can really have conversations with people that have been listening and paying attention, like this is the fruit right here. So I thank God for that. I really do. The episode for Melissa, it's episode 36 in season 4. So
Okay. Wait, you said season 4?
Season 4, episode 36. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm gonna go after this. I'm going to listen.
Yes, please.
It was good.
I'ma just say this. Y'all just check out every episode at this point because we are busting, okay? We busting from the head to the toe since we go ahead. I'm sorry.
I be catching them and they be like, when some things y'all be talking about, like, oh my God, like I feel that, like 100%. And I feel like that's like the part that I like about y'all podcast is because it's so relatable. And then especially I'll be like, I feel this way, or I thinking this something this way, and they hitting it right on the head. So it's A1.
Thank y'all so much. No, we really appreciate that, and it feels good to be able to hear people talk about it, and it's not just you guys, but it's the simple fact that more people, and we're really starting to see that, and we just appreciate the love and the support, because trust us, it definitely get hard. Like, you know, we know we got to do more promotion and things like that, so it gets hard to make sure that we're all showing up. And we even, like I said, just had a conversation even yesterday, just being more transparent with each other and just growing with each other, not only as kingdom chicks, but also as like sisters, you know. So that's the part for me that I really appreciate about Kingdom Chicks, because we not just a show, they my sisters.
Right.
Period.
And I love that you guys do that even outside of the podcast. Like,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's big. Keela my sister by blood. So I don't like that's my sister. I gotta check in. You know, I gotta keep in touch. But it means like it's even bigger and better when it's somebody that's not related by blood. It's somebody you don't have to keep that tie with. But y'all are continuously growing that sistership or sisterhood, you know, and that's beautiful. Because let's be honest, it's not that easy these days.
Right.
We had a whole sisterhood show. I think Shantae, you led that one, didn't you?
I think Dina did.
Oh, Dina did. Okay.
Yeah, no, that
At
was
this point, we're gonna put y'all. Huh?
I said that episode was real powerful too, because like it deserves to be talked about, especially in this generation. So yeah, it was a good one. Y'all check that one out too.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm just gonna put it on a playlist. I'm like, let me just listen to them all back off of back.
Yeah.
No, for real. I was literally about to say at this point, we just about to put every single episode on here. But like at the end of the day, if y'all haven't, I know y'all on YouTube. I think let me see this y'all YouTube, right?
Yep.
So,
we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on all podcast platforms. Yeah.
Listen,
Yes.
y'all,
Shout out to our producer Maxie.
Yes.
Look, shout out.
That's my girl.
Yes.
Look, I don't think people behind the scenes be getting enough, accolades. So listen, it's a lot. Y'all see me over here almost lost my top when my thing went into.
Oh, baby, when Maxie gone, we feel it. Don't we feel? I be like, oh, what I gotta do? Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do that. But it's amazing to have Maxie. Maxie has been rocking with the show since the conception of the show. And I thank God for her. Like this show would be nothing without our super producer, for real.
Period.
Okay. Look, I love the title super producer because girl, that means you do it all.
And do.
She really do. She really do. So
look,
shout
Dina
out to her.
too. Absolutely, because Dina can really talk to us. She be like, okay, we ain't got Maxie. We don't know when she gonna be back yet. Look, she can really talk to her because she's the one that takes over everything and do everything while she's absent. So
yeah.
And she watching us now. So shout out to you, sis.
Thank you, Maxie. Thank you.
Oh yes, she is in there. Okay, I see you, girl.
Yes. Yes, we love Maxie.
I have a question. So outside of the podcast, can y'all let us know like what y'all guys doing outside the podcast and where y'all see yourself going outside the podcast as well?
Go ahead, lady.
One of y'all want to go first?
I should just be like you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, for me, like we still have missions outside of the podcast, but like right now with us building our foundation and just growing and elevating in that way, we still have yet to come. So it's like we're still in a mix of figuring it out and seeing what God has on this other side of this door that we all three of us are willing to just like open and get ready to walk through that door. So I don't know if you ladies think the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I also feel like because God deals with me through finances and through just finance. And one of the things that I know that God is dealing with me with is making sure that I am doing the things that I need to do as a luxury realtor, as a speaker, to be able to fund things that we need to do inside of Kingdom Chicks.
Absolutely.
So even though that is outside, that's something that God deals with me outside of Kingdom Chicks and just period in life period. But it is to definitely kingdom business. I feel like it's something that God has positioned me to be in. I've always been really good at business. I actually went to school for business administration, but I didn't finish because I wasn't listening to the Holy Spirit the way that I was supposed to. Right. I was doing a lot of different things in my life prior to. So it's just like God has just gifted me with a lot of business wisdom. And he's just giving me the gift to be able to nourish and to grow businesses and to do things like that. So for me, outside of Kingdom Chicks, that's how God deals with me. And then also I have to say, I'm making sure that I stay up on, my content as a realtor, my content as a speaker, and to be an encourager. And then also I'm stepping into ministry this year. So God is dealing with me in a lot of different ways. So God has given me so many different gifts that I have to be operating in. And so this is my year that God is pulling me into many different directions to get me to where he's trying to take me. So, but that's me outside of Kingdom Chicks, which is still in Kingdom Chicks, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So it's like when I say it's a God thing, it's a God thing. Like, it's still connected, even though I'm doing it outside of Kingdom Chicks.
Right. Every time you say that, I hear Kanye. So I've been on this fast. I've been on this fast from secular music for about a month now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see me turning back no time soon. But like, I don't even know if I can even. I mean, I know that what is that album? Jesus is King.
Jesus is King. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and one of the songs is what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Ultralight Being.
Yes.
So I just keep every time you say that, I just keep hearing that. I literally just been listening to all of that album all week, and then all of a sudden you keep saying that over and over again. This is a God thing, this is a God thing, and I'm like, okay, I hear you.
That's one of my that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
On that album, one of my favorite songs. And you know what? The crazy thing about it is this is ministry, and this is ministry outside of the church walls. And this is what I love about Kingdom Chicks. We can operate in ministry, and I need people to understand, and I hope that people get this. You can operate in ministry. It doesn't mean that you have to be behind the pulpit, right? There are people operating in ministry that are coaches on the football field, that are coaches on the basketball teams. There are people that, are ministering from the gas stations, from, your local grocery stores. There's people ministering everywhere. So that's the whole gist of Kingdom Chicks and our podcast, to allow people to understand that ministry doesn't only have to happen within the four walls. In the kingdom right now, we have to go beyond the four walls in order to reach the people that may not ever walk into those four walls. And that's the thing for me. Everything that I'm attached to is ministry, but it's ministry in the most radical, crazy, fun way. And the reason it's like that for me is because that's what I asked for. I asked for that, when God called me, I said, look, if I'm gonna do this, can I be me? Like, can I really be who I am? Can I be transparent? Can I be open? Can I tell people that, hey, I'm in the pulpit, but it ain't always gravy. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Can I be that person? And God gave me permission to be radical and to be who he called me to be. So I'm very grateful for that. And that's why Kingdom Chicks is so special. You know what I'm saying? Because it's beyond the four walls. For me, obviously, I do ministry work. I'm a pastor-elect at Fishers of Men in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I am a life coach for young adults and women. I work at Youth Build in Georgia. I work with young adults 16 to 24. So everything that I'm attached to is ministry. I'm pouring into my young people. I'm pouring into women. I'm pouring into kingdom citizens. Like, and I can say, I believe for Kingdom Chicks, like, the platform is going to get bigger and it's going to go wider as far as from a virtual standpoint to an in-person standpoint. Like, we're definitely going to be moving and doing different events on a personal level, not just virtual. So I do see Kingdom Chicks branching out wider. And with this, even with you all, Keela and B, with this, I feel like the gist of what God is doing with Kingdom Chicks is building relationships with other people. We've been able to connect. I've been able to connect my sisters and make sure that we're in prayer calls with some heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that we are being used by God in the way that he wants to use us, and making relationships. So in the end, once we start moving and doing, the events that God has called us to, we have people that we are connected with. We have people that, are like-minded, like you were saying earlier, you get to have a like-minded conversation. So I believe in, these networking relationships. I believe in making sure that we're connected with other people so that we can all work together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love the fact that you said that you can do your work with being yourself, because I feel like you reach more people because they understand it on a different level. And absolutely. I love that, because I'm like, I went to some churches and everything like that. It'd be like, I understand, but I need more. I need you to, put it in the language that I'm going to understand better. So for y'all guys to be able to do that, that is awesome.
It's all glory to God. Like it's amazing. And it just attests to what you pray for, you will get. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I pray for certain characteristics and traits within my spiritual parents. I needed them to be real. I needed them to be authentic. I needed them to be transparent. I needed them to let me be me. You know what I'm saying? So when I get up in the pulpit and I bring a word, like I not that I can say what I want to say, but I can be me.
Right.
I don't have to go, Jesus said thou art, the ark, and I don't have to talk like that. I can just talk like who I am, and I can give the word how God gives it to me, and he allows me to be who I am. So it's amazing.
I like how you keep saying like you pray for it, and I think a lot of times it gets missed. For some people, like I think we get so caught up in praying for the things that we want that we fail to realize that sometimes the moments that we're praying, we're standing in the middle of something that we prayed for.
Absolutely.
That's good. At what moment did you start to realize like that for yourself? Like I'm in what I'm praying for. I'm in it. Like
when them babies was crying and that husband was baby. I'm like, oh,
you better talk.
I'm like, I used to be lonely, child. I used to be lonely, and it was just me and my baby, me and my oldest. And I'm like, she want her dad, and I'm just by myself. And now my house has not been quiet since.
That part.
I was praying about that.
Baby, that is real. Like, oh my God. I mean to tell y'all, like, this has been such a trying week for me. Just being down, feeling down. I mean, I literally was like in the hospital this morning, like, because my knee is messed up. Like, it's just so many things. So this has been like a trying week for me. But when I say that, like, God is so good, because I could still I'm thinking like, I know that everywhere that I look around me, it's a blessing. It's something that I ask for. It's something that I pray for. I ask to, be here. Like, I'm like, oh my God, all these guys pulling me in all these different directions. But I ask to be not just used by God, because I don't want to just be used by God for one moment. I desire to walk with God, to be able to go through to walk with God through many different things, to be used by God in many different ways. And so it's like thinking, and then just like, okay, somebody, like, I was just at Bible study earlier. They're like, okay, Tasha, sing a song. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just, I sing the song, and it's just like, I know that God has given me a voice to sing unto him, but I don't really sing that much. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I know I probably would be a lot better if I actually sang more like God has called me to. And so it's just all those different things. It's like, man, I prayed to be here today. Like Shantae said, my house has not been quiet. I mean, literally in the moment of me breaking down, like, I don't know if y'all seen this. There's this TikTok, where the mom is like crying, and she like, and then as soon as she started crying, her son coming like, oh mom, I need this. She like, she get it and give it to him, and then she just start back crying. Like, I can't even break down by myself. Like, right. So it was just like I literally had a moment the other day, and then my son just came up and hugged me, and then him and my husband, they were praying for me, and then Sonny was like, "Are you feeling okay, mommy? Are you okay? You not feeling okay?" And so it's just like for him to be in tune and to know that I needed that moment, you know, not just for myself, but for him to love on me, you know.
Yeah.
And he 4.
Yeah.
He literally stopped playing his video game and came over here and like gave me a hug.
Oh, baby.
You feeling okay? But it's just like those are, you know, it's like even in that moment, it's like, okay, now I have more strength to continue to go through everything that I pray for this. I pray for this.
Yeah.
You know,
You've
so
been anointed for it. You've been anointed.
yes,
Yes.
and we are graced. We are graced for it. And that's the thing. That's so good, Shantae. We are graced for it. And that's one of the things that I know that we have to keep at the forefront of our mind. God doesn't give us anything that we ain't graced for.
Very,
Yeah. And that's to a lot of things that I've prayed for years, you know, have manifested, you know, one in particular with my marriage, and, you know, even the podcast, you know, to be able to, I wrote this down, you know what I'm saying? Like the word says, write the vision, make it plain so that, you know, men can see what you have wrote, right? So your people will know what you have written. And when I tell you, like, I still have the journal where I wrote down Radical Radio, podcast. I wrote down that Maxie was going to be the super producer. And I had some other co-hosts, but at the end of the day, it's the fact of the matter that I have that journal. It's never going to go anywhere. I have it. I can see it with my own eyes that boom, this is what we wrote down. This is what it is. And Maxie is still here from the beginning to now. And so it's just amazing. And some of these things, I'll say this, some things I didn't pray for. You know, I didn't pray to walk in pastoralship. I didn't ask for that. But I said yes. You know what I'm saying? And when I gave my yes, I gave a firm yes. And that's something that I didn't even have no idea that was in the cards at all. Not even, especially not for me. So
okay. Yeah. Tell it, sis.
Yes.
That's real. But when you say yeah, you don't know, you never know what it is that, you know, you just get thrown straight into the process, and then God just places you wherever he decides to place you, where he wants to place you.
Right. The good thing about what you just said, Tasha, though, but you low key, you're prepped. You're prepped. He's never going to throw you into a situation or throw you into something that you're not ready for. You may think you're not ready, but he knows you from the front, from the back. He knew you in your mother's womb, so he already knew that you were prepared for what you're in. So that's good, Tasha.
No, for real. That's good. That was a good question.
Oh, well, look, as much as I told myself, like, literally, I had all these questions, like you, Tasha. I was like, let me prepare. Let me get all of this stuff in order. I know we're going to try to touch on this, try to touch on this. You know, I had an idea, right? I'm like, all right, we finna cross market. But now I'm just like, nah, like that ain't where this conversation is going. That's not where this conversation is going. It's still cross marketing, but those questions, those not going to suit. That's not finna do.
And it's crazy because I'm still over here glancing at the questions like, wait, I'm like, we touched on these questions and we didn't even look at them. Yeah. So it's just like God just moving the waves, and the conversation is just floating. So I most definitely understand.
Like, so I know, Shantae, you was just saying about how walking into something not knowing that you're prepared, and I think that's a big piece that is overlooked a lot too, right? Because sometimes we're reluctant to take those steps because we think we didn't prepare. We didn't prepare in the way that we wanted to. We didn't prepare in the standards of ourselves, right? Because we're like, no, I need this, and this before I can do that. And God's like, nah, you can do that now. And you're like, no, not right now. I'm gonna wait until I got this house, and I'm gonna wait until I got this job, and I'm gonna wait until I get this promotion before I do that. Right. And I think, like, I don't know, for me, that hit me on I don't know, I think as far as like finding God, right? Because sometimes people be having these like, well, you know, I gotta like, oh, that's for when I get like more mature in life, or that's after I've done this, or after I've done that, then that's when I can start to really grow my relationship. And it's like, why are you waiting?
Why put off to the day what you could put what is it? Why put off to what tomorrow what you could put off today, or what you can do today, or something like that?
Yeah.
My
Look,
thing
something
is,
like that.
why do we feel like we got time on our hands?
That part.
Right. And that's the part,
Yeah.
right? Because people, I really hate to say, I feel like there are so many people who I've seen squander away so much potential in themselves because they decided, not right now. I'm gonna wait until this, or I'm gonna wait until that. And I love the fact that you said that, like, you don't prepare you, he's preparing you.
Yeah.
You're given the opportunity right now to make that choice, to make that move, because he's prepared you as much as you needed to be prepared in his eyes.
And keep in mind, we missed that. We missed that a lot of our storms are there to prepare us for where we're going. Elevation comes once he's already prepared you for the elevation. So he gets you ready for elevation. Like, and you're looking at, there has to be, like you said, I have to have a house. I have to have, this amount of money. I have to have this put in order to move where God is calling me to. But no, the fact that you went through a storm and you felt like you wasn't going to make it through and you made it through, that's all you need for elevation. He's going to elevate you from that point. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't necessarily have to be tangible things as a way that he's processing you. He's processing you through experience. He's processing you through assignments. I just gave a word today about, if you know your purpose, you have to understand that you're going to have assignments that will allow you to fulfill the purpose. So you have to understand that the assignments are the preparation for the elevation.
That part.
Absolutely. And God's thoughts are not our thoughts. I just wanted to add that, because sometimes we think he's human and we think that God's, how he thinks is way different than how we think. Just like you said, I think I need to get this. That ain't God's thoughts about things. So we got to make sure that we keep that in mind.
Yeah. And also we got to understand too, though, that when God gives us something, it's not for us to do in our own strength. A lot of things we try to go into it with our own strength and with our own understanding. And that's one of the things that's always going to, have us. If we could do it on our own, then we wouldn't need God.
Exactly.
If we could just do it all on our own, we wouldn't need God. So that was just like one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I added. It's like, if it's too big, then that means it's God.
Right.
And when God gives us a vision, it's always bigger than our bank accounts. It's bigger than where we are right now. And we have to just understand that God is a big God, and everything that God does, he does at a level of perfection, at a level that just can't be touched, And so we have to get to a point to where we understand that if God gives it to us and it's bigger than us, that's because he wants us to do it with him. Without him, we're nothing, And so that's why we just got to make sure that when we're doing these things, we are doing it to please God and with God.
And I was going to also add to that, like, sometimes we don't even know what we're doing. We just got to be obedient. And in our obedience is the blessing within that. So make sure you're obedient. Listen to
literally the whole time y'all are talking, I just keep thinking about the what is it? Oh my God, now I can't think of the word or the scripture, but it's like be the lantern that lights my path, Yes, like, and I like literally the whole time I'm just sitting here thinking about obstacles, right, that we face in life, that we look against it and it's like, how I'm gonna do that? I'm not gonna do that, right? And then you like you said, we're thinking about doing it in the capacity of ourselves. And it's much larger than us. If we just have faith and walk by faith, he'll guide the steps and we'll get to where we're trying to go.
We got to trust him too, though. Like, that's one of the things that I know for me is like, as I went on this, as I've been on this journey with God, it's like, I know that he's going to see me through. I know that he's going to be with me. I know that he's going to, like, I know that I'm going to get through it. Like, and it's like when you're in it, we be so focused on what we're going through versus to where we're going. And it's like, we have to go through things so that we can be relatable. Like, if we never experienced anything, like, Kingdom Chicks would be like, who is these girls that ain't never went through nothing over here talking about how to do this with God, and they ain't never been through nothing? Like, no, it makes us relatable. It makes us who we are. It makes us, it gives us the conviction to speak with when we talk about the things that we experience. And God, just like Coach L said, God works through processes. He works through processes. He works through experiences. And that's the only way that you're going to learn, like at a magnitude of where of where you need to go and where you need to be.
Yeah, I feel like I relate to that so much because I don't know if y'all know, before I started a podcast before by myself, and it did not go to plan. So when I was thinking, it was like God was telling me that was not the time. So when we talked about it and we did it together, and you could see like the movement is moving faster than the other one did. So I most definitely relate to that 100%.
Absolutely. I don't know. I think it happens in so many different things in life. You know, you start down a path thinking, okay, this is what I want to do. Right. And you have so much drive and so much oomph behind that, right? You finna run through brick walls because that's what you want to do. That's the plan you have in sight for yourself. And like, I've gone through situations for myself too, whether it be business ventures, friendships, whatever, but I was so determined to make those things work. And that just wasn't in the plan.
Yes.
I couldn't figure out why.
Try the spirit by the spirit, honey. If it don't connect with your spirit, it got to go. Like, period. We try to force things. Like,
there you go.
Friendships. Like, have you ever like tried to force a friendship that you know, like,
it's not working,
feel right? Like, it ain't working. Like, it's not giving anything, right? But you still try to force it. That's because your spirits aren't aligned. And if you pay attention to like your spirit, pay attention to your knower. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not aligning, then that's just something that doesn't work. It doesn't mean that it's anything wrong. It just means that, hey, my spirit doesn't gel with you. I always tell people this story. Like, I had a supervisor, and for some reason from the very beginning, she hired me, everything. I just couldn't, like, it was something about her. I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, what is up with her? And I tried to force myself to like build some type of relationship, you know, and it just wasn't working. And it was at that time that I figured it out. Like, oh, this means we not gelling. Like, my spirit is not connected with hers. Like, it's not there. So I learned in that moment that I would never do that again. Like, I'm not going to force my spirit upon nobody. If we don't gel, we just don't gel. And that's what it is. We got to be okay with that.
Yes.
I agree with that 100% because, like you said, it was a couple of friends that I'm like, I knew this person for so long, and it's something, the energy off. Something is about this person is not giving what it used to give, or maybe I'm in a different spirit, or am I in a different light than what they are in. So I most definitely agree with that 100%. Because when you was talking, I'm like, oh, I feel this one because I had it happen so many times. I'm like, you know what? God's telling me I need to remove myself from this person and find someone on the same path that He wants me to be on. So I most definitely agree with that.
Coach L, I think Coach L said the other day, we was talking about some guests, like bringing guests, and she's like, yeah, no, it was just something about them. My spirit didn't gel with them. Y'all know how I am. And so it's just so like what she's saying, like she really is, like she stand on it, like
she live by that.
Yeah. Firm. Do you hear me?
That one is an obedient one. Overall, she's very obedient.
No.
If I didn't say that, I ain't doing that.
She said it's either God or it's God.
Yeah.
It's but or between.
No,
I feel that. No, because for real, honestly, when it really boils down, and if you're this, it really reminds me of last week's conversation about pouring into things that don't deserve your energy. You know what I mean? Like, you spend so much time pouring into that, you're taking the energy away from your own growth, or whatever the end goal actually is. You're prolonging that by pouring that energy, or allowing your energy to be taken, right? Because sometimes it's not that you pouring into it, but it's sometimes that person is dumping on you and they draining your battery. Like, and that happens way too many times where we kind of cap our own growth or stunt our own growth in some situations where, like, we so stuck on trying to get this friend, hey, come on, girl, you got to come with me. We got to get you there too. We got to,
Girl, bye.
you know, or
No.
you know, this
Jesus,
man, this
no.
is my man though. He coming with like it's just
No.
too many.
This will snatch me by the wig. You hear me?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know we can all relate to that. I feel like there were so many relationships in my past that I was trying so hard to bring these people across the finish line with me that it definitely slowed me down. Right. I learned the lessons that were needed to be learned in that moment, but I didn't let it stop there. Right. I just felt like because we had this, it may have been we endured something together, or we maybe we're successful in something together, that we kind of create those bonds and we think that they're forever bonds. And that's not necessarily always the truth. You know, you got to realize a trauma bond when there's a trauma bond. You got to realize a temporary bond when there's a temporary bond, right? Because not all of those are supposed to be forever. And when that moment comes where you realize we ain't gelling no more, we ain't gelling how we were supposed to be, then that's that calling letting you know, okay, now it's that time to cut ties and move forward. Like
You preached a whole sermon right there, baby. You did that. You did that, girl. Listen, all I kept, don't cast your pearls on swine. We ain't got time for that.
Period.
It ain't no time for that. Like you stick to your assignment. Stick to your assignment. Like tunnel vision, stick to your assignment. Okay? Because like people will come and distract you from what you need to be doing and what you need to be focused on. And a lot of times, like you said, you ain't even gelling anyway. So yeah.
Right. Skedaddle.
Yeah.
And it's wisdom, and it's wisdom to know when to move, you know. And I think a lot of times is we lack that, or we don't seek God to say, okay, God, is this time for me to move, or what am I supposed to do? And like we're really supposed to seek God. He's like the GPS. Like we're supposed to seek him for every turn, every step, every way, you know, every which way that we're supposed to go. We need to be seeking God. And I think a lot of times we forget to include God in every decision that we make. I was listening to this Cindy Trim, one of an interview that she had a long time ago, and she was saying that we don't understand that every time we make a decision, that destiny is created, which means that either we're in the right destiny, aligned with God, or we're creating our own destiny. And a lot of times, because we're taking and making decisions without, you know, consulting God first, we create we create our own destiny. So every time we make a decision, we're creating destiny.
That's good.
So it's I mean, y'all, when I say I listened to that interview, I got so many nuggets out of that thing. I'm telling y'all, it was so good. But it's just like we don't really think about that. And that's why so many people, like you said, they delay where they're supposed to go. I was supposed to went to business school. Look at how much I've delayed just off of, even though I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So let me not say it like that, but it's like there's a delay of where I should be or where I could have been had I followed what was inside of me to do.
Yeah.
You know, so now God has to redeem the time. Now God has to speed me up 10 years. Now God has to give me 10 years back that the enemy stole from me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like now now God has to do all these extra things because I wasn't, you know, doing what I was supposed to do.
That was good, sis.
No, that's real though.
It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I swear, I'm saying, like, I think I could talk to y'all all night. Like, like, man, I could talk to y'all all night. Like, look, y'all want to do a part two? Because, girl,
baby, listen.
Do a part two.
No, like I'm sitting here and I'm like, do we still go the whole hour? I'm like, oh my God, it's already 8 o'clock. I'm looking at the timer, like, oh wait, but I forgot that we lost 13 minutes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I really could. I have enjoyed the mess out of this conversation. Like when I tell y'all, them gems y'all would have thought that we hit the jackpot because them gems was dropping.
Right? Because I'm sure I was just feeling the conversation. It was just like. I feel like I'm not talking much, but I feel like it's so much knowledge that I'm getting. I just want to sit back and relax. Like,
okay, glory to God, glory to God.
Look,
I appreciate y'all so much for bringing us.
Yes,
for sure.
Well, I mean, I know that you guys you all had to stop what you guys were doing today to come join and be a part. And I know having people on Sundays is already a lot to ask. But we definitely appreciate you guys being here. I do want to give you guys a moment. Like, if there is anything that you guys would like for our listeners to know about Kingdom Chicks, about you guys, about like your individual endeavors, please feel free to use this time up and you know, give them as much information as they can so they can follow up. And I want them to become Kingdom Chick listeners as well. I want them to be buying houses from Tasha. I want them to be over there trying to figure out how to make good decisions and She Wise. I want them sending their kids over to Coach L, you know, to get all the gems and the guidance. I need for them to get all the information y'all can share with them right now.
I do want to say we are going on a break for the month of December. As y'all know, the holidays are holidaying. So we will be on a break for December. We will be coming back January 8th. So if you haven't already, go ahead and download the Kingdom Chicks podcast on all podcast platforms, whatever podcast platform you choose. Go ahead and subscribe. And you can also log on and subscribe to our YouTube channel, KCR Podcast. I'm still coaching, always coaching. You can find me on Facebook under Ladina Chisholm. You can find me on Instagram, Radical Coach L. You can also find me on TikTok, Radical Coach L. So I'm on all platforms. If you see Radical, you'll see me.
And for She Wise, I feel like I just took a break a little bit, but I'm still working. It's a very intimate type of platform starting off because I'm still building my foundation. But God has told me that I'll be doing bigger things. So we'll be having book clubs and things like that, and having different events like that. So tune in for January 2024. God is moving in She Wise, and you guys could still hit us up for advice, for prayer, for anything in that nature. We're here, and whatever we can do, we here. We servants.
Absolutely. For me, I am Tasha Delk. I believe on all platforms except for Instagram. I'm Coach Tasha Delk, but I gotta change that because I'm just not focusing on coaching right now. So Tasha Delk on all social media platforms. I also have a YouTube channel where I do some inspirational videos. So I post some of my inspirational videos on Facebook, but I post all of them on YouTube. And then so even as a realtor, yes, I am a realtor. I am stationed in Tennessee, but I can help you in every state because I know people. I got connections. So if y'all need to purchase a home or sell a home, get in contact with me, Tasha Delk. I'll definitely be able to help you guys, as well as make sure that y'all do follow Kingdom Chicks, because everything that we are doing is really unto God, and I'm just really excited for everything that God is going to do for us with Kingdom Chicks and each of our lives individually. And also, I do want to say to you, B and Keela, as well, just keep going.
Yes.
Stay committed, and and God is gonna do a work. So just trust them.
Yep.
Thank
Committed
you,
and
ladies.
consistent. That's the way of the podcast world. Committed and consistent. As long as you
For
do that,
sure.
listen. It's so many podcasts that started in the pandemic that ain't going no more. You see, the last episode was December 2020, right? But just stay committed and stay consistent. And B, if you need a playlist, since you want a secular music fast, boo, let me know. I'll send you.
Send it my way. When I tell y'all my playlist has grown so much, I do not even miss secular music. It is so many artists out there that come with the hits. It gives you hip hop vibes, you get R&B vibes, you get soul vibes.
Yes.
All of it. When I tell y'all,
ma'am.
Yes.
It's a whole different.
The kingdom ain't playing. Do you hear
it ain't.
Not at all.
I get in the car and I'm playing some shit like, oh, this is my jam. I know that's right, girl. Let this be your jam over that. But listen, like I said, I don't see myself turning back no time soon. So definitely share the playlist.
Yes, indeed. I got you.
All right. Well, that sums us up for episode 7 of Girl, Let's Talk About It with Keela and B. Bye, guys.
Bye.